In the Bull Shoals uplands, even a simple nap can turn into a wild, cross-county trek. Sugar, our little Siamese sentinel, our studio cat, she chose the absolute wrong box for a snooze. It was just a cardboard box, filled with bubble wrap and some spare Linux parts. Nothing special. But then the assistant, not seeing those tiny Siamese ears sticking out, taped it shut. That box was labeled Shipment Mountain Home, and before anyone even finished their first cup of coffee, the truck was gone. Sugar woke up to the roar of a diesel engine and the screech of tires on pavement. Frightened by the giant iron monsters of the highway, she did what any terrified cat would do. She leaped, not into the welcoming arms of a stranger, but straight into the deep green embrace of the Ozark brush. She was lost, alone, and miles from home. Back at the garage, panic set in. We searched everywhere, but she was just gone. That's when we knew we had to call in the experts. We all gathered in the witch's neon-lit garden, a strange mix of organic growth and glowing tech. She placed her hands on a glowing crystal ball, one that was wired directly into a dusty 1980s computer monitor. The screen flickered to life, not with code, but with visions. The witch looked up from the screen, her eyes knowing. "She isn't where the money is," she said. "She's where the heart is. Look, she's in the shadow hollows, a place the maps forgot. A little pocket of the Ozarks left behind by time. Hands that have nothing are holding her. They've given her the cream off their morning milk." The witch saw it all. Sugar wasn't just lost. She was being cared for, protected by the bravest folks in these hills, those who have the least, yet somehow always give the most. Knowing she was safe was one thing. Getting her back was another. And we weren't just going for a simple pickup. We were going for a delivery. The ramp of the Zeroantartica Starship, a beautiful mess of gleaming chrome and Ozark rust, lowered to the ground. We started loading the ship. The witch brought crates of her magic veggies, tomatoes the size of hubcaps and kale that seemed to glow from within. The alien, ever practical, stacked old CRT monitors and refurbished computers. I made sure every laptop was synced and loaded with open-source software. And the hillbilly, he brought a stack of his fresh-carved cigar box guitars, ready to share the sound of the hills. We were going to pay the cat tax, and we were going to pay it in full. With the cargo bay packed, we lifted off. The starship screamed across the Bull Shoals sky, a silver streak against the blue, before descending softly into a small clearing surrounded by weathered trailers and homes that had seen better days. We didn't come in peace. We came in radical kindness. The ramp dropped, and the air filled with the scent of ozone from the ship and the rich smell of organic compost from the witch's vegetables. As we stepped out, Sugar came running, safe and sound. But we looked at the faces of the people there, the ones who had cared for her. They looked like the world had moved on without them. They didn't know the starship was coming for them, too. That's when the real party started. The boogeyman, our ghostly DJ, set up his floating booth and hit play on the cosmic archives. Funky, ethereal beats filled the air. We turned that forgotten hollow into a dance floor under the Arkansas sky. The alien joined in on a synth rig, creating otherworldly melodies, while the hillbilly shredded on a 3-string cigar box guitar, laying down a gritty, soulful rhythm. The Ozark Futurism Festival was officially underway. The witch moved through the crowd, her hands sparking with a beautiful, gentle magic. She took those giant vegetables, and with a flick of her wrist, turned them into a feast that tasted like 5-star memories and home-cooked love. The kids, who had been shy at first, were now laughing and playing. Sugar, our little guest of honor, was right there with them, chasing laser beams shot from the alien's fingertips across the grass. It wasn't just a party. It was a celebration of community, of kindness, of not being forgotten. As the music softened and the sun began to set, the festival wound down, but our work wasn't done. We left the hardware behind. We showed them how to use the Linux PCs and the TVs, opening up a connection to the wider world. The hillbilly sat with a young kid, patiently teaching him a G chord on a cigar box guitar, passing on the music. We didn't just drop off supplies. We gave them the tools to be the fix in their own hollow. As we finally loaded back into the Starship, with Sugar tucked safely inside the hillbilly's jacket, we looked back. The shadow hollows weren't in the dark anymore. They had music. They had technology. And most importantly, they knew they had friends in low orbits watching out for them. The signal was restored. Keep the mission alive. Big or small, helps fund the next rescue. Pay what you want. Like, subscribe, and please, stay strange. This is B.R.O. signing off.